Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to whenever and wherever you are in the world at this moment. Welcome to the Cigar Box Guitar Builder podcast. This is Adam Harrison, and I will be, I suppose, I'll be joined today by a cast of wonderful characters. Joe Oltean, and hoping to get Darren on the video as well today. Jesse Thomas is away. He is doing he's at a wedding. So many happy returns to the, or congratulations to the couple. This episode is brought to you, of course, by CBGs, the wonderful CBGs. I buy my parts from CBGs.com, to quote Shane Spill. And also by Killer Strings, absolutely. So if you're in the United States, you can order your Killer Strings from killerstrings.com, or you can order your strings from cbgiddy.com. If you use our affiliate link, you will get 10% on your first 3 orders. So we have an affiliate link with CBGiddy, so please feel free to take advantage of that. You'll find that information in the episode description. If you are in Australia and you would like to order strings, Killer Strings, the amazing Killer Strings, you can order those from my website, which is birdwoodguitars.com. I'm just organising our podcast video with Messenger, and of course my computer is not wanting to play ball today, and I'm just trying to call the fellas. See if I can get my camera working today, fingers crossed. I'm having my sip of coffee at the moment. A lot of things going on, so I'm really excited to be able to have a chat with Joe and Darren, if Darren is answering the call this morning. Let us see. There we go.
Hello.
Hey, my man.
So we're on, I take it.
We are, kind sir. We are.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I missed you guys.
Yeah, mate.
I can't see anyone yet, though.
No.
Just myself.
No, well, I've frozen again, so... but this...
Good you did.
Well, yeah, we are recording. We're recording straight away. We're just going to dive straight into it, my friend. I'm not doing... Okay, so the first things first, I suppose, for those people who are going to be waiting for a video format of this show, I'm not going to be doing it for a while. I want to stay true to... I hope you guys are okay with it. I do want to stay true to the audio format. It served us well. However, having said that, there's no reason that we can't, if something special comes up, or we can always do special broadcasts, we can always do a special, but it might need, from my point of view, it might need to wait until I can get a computer that actually works, which hopefully will be in a month or so hopefully not too long. I'm not sure if Darren's going to meet us. He may have something on, so I think it might just be the two of us today, Joe, but that is okay, because...
Well, for me, it's just me at the moment.
Well, it's I am there. I am here. I can see my little I can see my little video box down there, but once again, through the through the absolute pain of technology, mine has decided not to work. So anyway, what can I do? Yeah,
no big deal. We're doing audio anyway, so it don't matter.
No, it's nice that I can see your happy smiley face, and I think it would be lovely for a Sunday morning if you could be blessed with the same for me. So
I got Jesse's hummingbird jumper on as well.
Oh, very nice. Nice. That's very, very cool. Well, I always look forward to the cooler months so I can put it on. Yeah. You and I have actually got something that we can actually talk about today, which I'm actually quite chuffed about, and for those people who don't know, we have a kind of a sister group, and the sister group is the Australian. I'm just going to bring it up, just so that I say it right, because it is fairly new and it's early in the morning here in Australia, guys. So I'm only just having my cuppa. It's the great.
Oh my, yeah.
It's the great Aussie CBG Builder Swap. It's a very little group. It's a tiny little group.
It's just started. So it's on the ground still.
So we have got. It's a private group. So you do need to request access to it. That may be something that's holding it back a little bit. But we've got 29 members at the moment. And last weekend, we kicked it off. We kicked off the Great Aussie CBG Builder Swap. Now we've currently got six members who are actively participating.
Yes.
And so myself, and there's actually two. Oh, sugar! I've lost you. Are you still there?
I'm still here.
All right, no, it's okay. It's just, where are we here? We'll bring that up. I'll bring you back. There you go. I can see you now. There's two Americans. Sorry, mate.
No, you're right.
Yeah, there's two American participants who were dying to be involved in it, and I couldn't say no. You know me, I just like...
Of course not. And so that kind of makes it an international as well, doesn't it?
Well, it does, So we've got Alex Lechner and Bert Philbrick. And on top of that, there's yourself, Joe Oltean, and myself, Adam Harrison. And we've also got...
Gavin?
Yep. No. Hang on. Where is it?
Sorry, guys. I've lost your names as well.
Yeah, sorry. Gavin Favell and
That's right.
and Greg Inglis. You're absolutely right. Sorry, it's early morning on a Sunday morning here for us, and my brain is not woken up yet.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm the same. I'm very dusty. Had a couple of drinks with the boys last night.
Oh, I'm glad.
But I'm here.
I'm very glad. So when we drew the names, I kind of had my fingers crossed. I was going to get who I thought. Now, Joe and I were the two that decided that we were quite happy to have an American partner to build for.
Because we're the admin of the group, so it's kind of our obligation to go the extra mile.
Yeah, well, I did put a post or so back before we made the draw. I did put a post up saying, if anyone's interested, just give us a code. Just kind of say yes if you're interested in posting overseas or that type of thing. Anyway, we'll have to do something special, man, because America's postage rates are absolutely insane. So they're
ridiculous. Yeah, they are ridiculous. No, I'm quite. I couldn't have picked a better person to be partnered up with either. So Bert, he's kind of my brother from across the pond a little bit, and we share similar music interests. So I think both of us are going to be quite excited to build one for each other.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to that. And I also like Greg and Gavin, and so I'm sorry to say, Gavin, I'm not very familiar with your work yet, but I will be very soon. And Greg, I've seen his work for a few years now. He builds some very, very good instruments, and so you two guys are going to have a lot of fun as well.
Yeah.
It's G on G, Greg on Gavin, and then we've got Joe and Bert, the Doom Brothers, and then we've got A&A, Adam and Alex doing... Who knows what you two guys are going to do? You two guys are kind of the wild card, in my opinion.
Well, Alex is definitely the wild card. Alex approaches his builds in, just to digress very slightly. Shane Spiel uses the term. What's he use the term? Yes. Primal. Right, primal. And Shane...
he is, definitely.
Yeah, and Shane kind of refers to himself as a primal builder, but Alex takes it even further. If Shane's primal, Alex is like Stone Age. Alex is like... And I mean that with respect. Alex Alex has this. I suppose
Everything.
Alex and Darren are kind of similar in certain ways.
Yeah, they follow the same primal path.
Yeah.
I also have to say a big thanks to Alex while we're talking about Alex. He sent me a care package not too long ago.
No way. Yes.
And so absolutely blew me away. And it was 100% primal stuff. And I don't personally build a lot of primal stuff, but I used to. That's what I started building. So, when I get a chance, I am definitely going to jump on this primal train, and I'm going to use as many parts that he sent me as possible. Yeah. Even if it's excessive. Yeah. I'm just going to go for it.
Well, the thing is, he did the same thing for me. He did the same.
How nice is that? Hey, here's this young guy over in Australia that's, living his own life. He's got his own family to take care of, and here he is sending us Aussie guys packages. It's
in America.
insane.
Yeah, sorry, Alex is in America, guys. Yeah, and he's just got this absolute heart of gold. And I've got to admit, for the build off group, for the Great Aussie Build Off group, he's been really. He's been a wonderful torch. Like, he's just kind of going, hey, guys, go for it.
He has most definitely.
And he did. He sent the same. And, well, I haven't spoken about it on the podcast. I did a YouTube video, but I have not spoken about it on the podcast. And a couple of reasons for that. One, it's been very rare. The podcast has been quite rare. And the previous ones that we've done were with other artists, such as, Possum, a Crazy Possum.
Yeah. Like interview sort of
podcast. Yeah. So not necessarily a little bit more personal, like this one is.
We'll get back to him. We're just doing work. It's the sort of, we should sort of play it by ear. Hey, Adam.
Yeah, we do. But Alex sent me this one. Well, he heard that I was struggling for a little while with work and with a few things going on. And it was really a bit of a dry season after Christmas, and I didn't have a lot of funds available.
You didn't even have glue. I remember you didn't even have glue.
Well, that's what I was getting to. I didn't have glue. I was running out, and I managed to go and buy some stuff from Bunnings, which is actually the glue was actually all right, but it was kind of a no-name brand. It wasn't really anything. And then along comes this package from Alex. And in it, there's like 5 bottles of glue.
He sent me glue as well.
Yeah. Type Bond.
It absolutely blew me away. I couldn't believe his generosity. And some really cool stickers, I also must admit. He sent me, a dozen really cool stickers. I like covering my toolboxes in stickers. Well, so sorry?
I did a YouTube video, and
I didn't see it.
I did a YouTube video, and I've got the Great CBG Builder Swap Off number 10 sticker on the back of one of my guitars, and one of his Rock and Roll Forever ones with the devil horns and the angel wings coming out of the devil horns on the back of the cigar box, because. And it's I made a 2-string chugger, and I've put some of his stickers on the back. But the thing is, though, that I haven't used a lot of the parts that he sent me as yet.
I haven't either.
But the thing, I've got to tell you though, mate, but the thing that it did do is it re-inspired my love of building primal cigar box instruments.
I fully agree.
And I got to tell you, man, it's the last 2 or 3 cigar box instruments that I've built have not been like my core market, which is like my juke joint rockers and like the handmade boxes. I'm finding old, beaten up cigar boxes with the ugly stickers on them, and I'm using pieces of timber which are square cut and rounded over, and I've kind of really thrown myself back into this this primal style of building, and on my website, that's not the stuff that sells. I've got to admit, man, like my website, like it's the things that sell are it's like the Juke Joint Rockers and that series of stuff that like they're like full on electric guitars, but in like a 3-string mode, box mode. And I build them, and I love building them. I really do. But oh man, my heart just goes, and it always has. I've always come back to this style of primal, rustic, fretless building.
You've always had primal tendencies. You know, like your builds aren't always primal, but you do talk about it a fair bit. You do primal builds, and you appreciate other people's primal builds. So I've always known that about you, that you know, you do definitely have a soft spot for the rustic look.
And piezos.
Yeah, that's right. So I think this is good for you.
Well, the thing was, I was thinking about that when I was thinking about like what to do for the build off. I was thinking like, you know, piezo or something like that. But the funny thing is that, especially here in Australia, we're not a big we are a blues country, a country of blues, and we love our blues. Yes. But we love
our roots and blues culture is definitely not as strong in Australia as it is in America, that's for sure.
But it's more the electric blues. Like if you think of bands like the Ted Mulry Gang, if you think of bands like AC/DC, if you think of bands like even the Angels or you know, any of those bands, you know, that you and I, you know, grew up on. And let's be honest, the demographic for cigar box guitar builders, and there are outliers, of course, but the demographic is guys who are, you know, approaching 50 or in their 50s or older. There is this younger generation like Alex coming through, and like I even think Phil. I think Phil's a bit younger than us, coming through.
You mean Bert?
Bert, I keep doing that. Sorry, my apologies, Bert. Because it's Philbrick.
It's Philbrick. It throws you out. Yeah.
Bert, sorry, because I think Bert's probably a decade or so younger than us. Or either that, or it's the fact he's still got his hair. So, well, you do too, so that's not fair. As I said, I am the curmudgeon in our group. I am the oldest member of our of our team here. So, yeah.
I think Jesse would be the youngest.
He is, yeah. But it's lovely to see that younger generation coming through and building. But you know, the thing is though that, as I was saying, when I came to make a choice as to what the prerequisites for our group were going to be, I thought, look, because it's Australian, well, let's stick with electric. We'll go electric. It's got to be an electric, and it has to be a 3-string. All right, so you've got to have 3 strings on the guitar, and it's got to be electric, and that's it. They don't have to be fretted. They don't have to, like, you can do anything else. It could be a solid body. It could be a cigar box. It could be a handmade box. It could be whatever you want it to be. It doesn't matter.
That's right. It's all in the spirit of the CBG culture.
That's it. And I know that Greg and Gavin have actually been in contact with each other, so which is really lovely. So they're getting kind of ideas, passing ideas back and forwards.
Yes. So was Bert and myself. We're still in the idea process, both of us, though. But we've had a chat. So
I'm thinking. Sorry, you're right.
Yeah, we'll be bouncing some ideas around, and I just got to lock it in. My problem right now is I have no boxes at all.
Yeah,
and I'm doing an actual 6-string solid body guitar at the moment.
Right.
And so my mind, and I'm a one build guy. I really struggle to have 2 builds on the go. So for the last week, I've been going like a crazy man trying to get this 6-string done. And then in the back of my mind the whole time, I'm thinking, what the hell am I going to use for a box for Bert? So I'm starting to panic a little bit because I feel like I'm behind the 8 ball, and I actually take a long time to build. So I've got to really figure this out.
I do like to keep us on our toes.
Yeah. So I've got to get cracking right now.
I had this idea as well. Now I put up a bit of a cryptic picture on the group, and so I've drawn it. I've actually drawn out what I'm going to, and I don't.
I thought one of your students drew it.
No, man, I drew it, and what I did was I got it's all drawn up.
It looks like a 6-year-old drew it.
Yeah, I know, but what I did was I used the app. When you put the picture up, you can actually draw over the top of it. So I've drawn over the top of it. so no one can see what I've done. But I'm saying it's like I've started drawing, and it's like, here we go.
So that's kind of these are sort of how do we like so there's 6 of us at the moment, and are they like a surprise build? Like do we upload build progresses or anything like that, or is it more of a wait until it's delivered before we reveal it?
No, well, Alex kind of did. Alex has kind of given me... well, I'm not going to show Alex anything yet. And you might be surprised because I'm not exactly building what you think I might be building. I'm kind of going to do something a little bit different. So it's not. It still follows the rules of the build. It's still a 3-string and it's still an electric. But at that point, I kind of divert a little bit. So I'm pretty excited about it because for me it's building the real Primal style. But even then, Alex has sent a couple of pictures through to the group, and the couple of images. I think it was to the group or it might have been to me.
I haven't seen it.
No, you know what it was? It might actually
probably private message.
It may have actually been a private message, but let me see if I can pull this up. Where are we here? And there might be some... where are we here? Where is this picture? Where is this picture? It was definitely there. Anywho, look, it's okay.
We can't see it anyway.
No, you can't. But it's an Alex build. He's given me... So he's. I think he's put in a picture of a corner. I might actually have been attached here. Oh, here we go. It might be in the comments.
Oh, that's a good idea. Like, just do like a little section as a teaser photo.
Well, it's... If you... Like, I can see this here. If you don't have a computer next to you or an iPad next to you where you can pull up group images, do you?
No, just my phone at the moment.
All right, that's cool. So what I can see is funnily enough, I have a feeling Alex and I are thinking exactly the same thing.
that don't surprise me at all.
Alex and I are thinking, because I'm looking at it and I've drawn it, and then he's actually put something in the images and he's gone, I'm doing this, and there's no other picture. It's just a picture of the headstock, with a big ass heavy bolt on it. And like my build's going to be my build will be a little more refined. I know that Alex has his look, and which I love, and
which he refers to it as Frankenstein, and I agree.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I was talking about before when I said just go
like bolts hanging out of the neck, just like Frankenstein.
Well, just going beyond Primal, into Stone Age. It's just I love it. I absolutely.
It's almost a little bit industrial, even.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Whereas I'll still I'm not copying Alex. You know, I'm not a big believer in copying people.
No, it's more inspiration. You can take inspiration and do your own thing. That's not copying. Yeah. And I'm looking,
Greg Inglis put the comment underneath the picture that I drew and sent through. He goes, But you can see in the picture there where there's actually some writing underneath, and it's got the blue blobby pattern over the top of it. So I've covered up the writing even. But Alex and I think he and I are both on exactly the same page of what we're going to do.
So I have a feeling that I'm the one that's probably going to struggle the most. Because an average build for me is 6 months and 300 hours.
Well, this is going to challenge you, man, to go a bit more primal, maybe.
I have to. I have no choice. And I've been building that way. I've been trying to build as high end as I possibly can for the better part of 7 years. I've been building for 11 years, and my first few years were rustic and primal. But then I started to really refine it, and that's been my direction for, 7 or 8 years. So this build, and I haven't even bloody well started. I do have a great idea.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. It's like I'm on one of these bloody MasterChef shows where you've got a time frame, you've got 30 minutes, and you want to make a a pot roast or something. Yeah, you're not going to make it in 30 minutes, mate. So,
well, there's an old saying I'm trying desperately to remember, but that John Wayne said in one of his movies. It's something to the effect of, "There ain't nothing but for leaving, but for the going," or something like that. Do you remember that? It might have been from Shane or from one of those movies, those tiny-footed movies that he did. And there ain't nothing but for leaving, but for the going. In other words, just get started. Just start.
That's exactly right. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I've got to do. Get started. Hopefully by the end of today, it's only early Sunday morning, so hopefully by the end of the day I've at least made a start.
Yeah. Look, to be honest with you, and there's a couple of people have put some comments up on, on questions of inspiration and things like that over the last couple of weeks.
Like theme builds or so on.
Well, no, not so much. More a case of how do you deal with burnout.
I don't know.
Well, see, I definitely over the last couple of weeks I've struggled with a bit of burnout, and I've been
like that for 7 months.
Yeah, I've been working on. I'm currently working on 4 builds, 5 now, 5 because I just got a 5th order. 2 of which are customer orders for my made to order guitars, and the other 3 are builds that I'm doing kind of for stock. You know what I mean? Like there'll be guitars that I build, that I play, that that I'll then move on and sell. But for the last couple of weeks, because I've also with my personal life with work, I've this term taken on a new class, and it's been challenging. It's been amazing, and it's been challenging because I'm a primary school teacher, and I'm now working in a support unit, and so I'm kind of learning, almost learning on the job, and working with kids that with challenges that I haven't worked with for long periods of time. I've worked here and there, and gone in and done some relief for the day, and
Support work is quite demanding, so you definitely have a lot on your plate.
Oh yeah, and then on top of that, I've got the Killer Strings gig out here as well, and we are currently, there's myself and a couple of other people who are actually in the process of actually organising a Cigar Box Guitar Festival. I can't say much more about it because we can't go into it. We're looking at basing it here in New South Wales at the moment, and it's everything going well. We're hoping it's gonna actually be fairly soon. So we're looking at this year, and closer to where we are now than the end of the year potentially. So it's all. I can't say anything more. It's all in the planning stages, and we've fingers crossed. We've actually got some very interesting people kind of organised. CB Giddy has put their hand up and said they're going to be happy to help sponsor. It's going ahead. We've got a lot of local business sponsorship happening as well. So with that side of things, so that's all happening. So it's been a bit of burnout time. So actually this weekend, and I've also opened up my guitar spa again, which was guitar repairs, which I used to do in the old shop. So I've got some jobs here for some guitar repairs, but this weekend I'm not touching anything. I've told myself just...
That's a cool name. I like that name.
Yeah, it went really well, man. It's like I didn't go into things like refretting and stuff like that. It was just like if you need your guitar cleaned up, electrics done, revitalising old instruments and things like that. That type of thing, which is what I love. I really love doing. And that's what I did in the old shop. But I'm just taking a break. So actually, this weekend, I'm dedicating to plastic model kit building. And I've got 6 kits that I haven't finished that are just sitting there because everything else takes over. So I've got.
You do the aircraft, don't you?
Yeah,
you like the aircrafts, yeah.
Yeah, the old World War II stuff. So I'm going to sit.
Let me show you this one.
You got some there? I'd love to show you one of the ones I got, but my bloody video doesn't work.
This is unfortunate that the listeners can't see this one, but I used to build little hot rods. So this one here is called the Uncertain T.
Yeah.
This model was so the Uncertain T, because it's tilted. It's a T bucket, but it's all chopped. It's tilted forward. It's a real cool little thing. I've got this. So I've done it like this one I redid when I was about 12. So the reason I'm showing you this model is it was originally a real show car in the 50s.
Yeah.
Turned into a model, and this is the original kit. This model in my hand right now is 70 years old.
Oh, how amazing.
So not the engine, I've customised it, I've put a drag engine in it, but the body is probably the only piece. The body and in the interior. So that's a 70-year-old plastic model kit right there.
That's just, I love it. But I think that in a way is like, a related kind of a group almost, if you think about it, like model building and thinking outside the square. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people who build model kits, they actually do conversions and things and alter. So I don't. I usually, when I get a kit, I'll just...
Have a look at this one, Adam. I'll show you. This is a photo. I don't actually have... This is a 57 Chevy. This thing fits in my hand. It's a 57 Chevy and a tank.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that is brilliant. Yeah.
I loved it. I used to do the same thing with my model cars. I could spend 300 hours on one.
Yeah.
I used to enter competitions up and down Queensland. I've got trophies for them. I've done international competitions. I got best in show in Brisbane, and there was 7,000 models, and I got best in show for a 49 Ford Mercury that I chopped and did a custom paint. It was absolutely stunning. I put LEDs in the headlight, and I had the old twin French antennas, and the antennas were guitar string.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I turned the antennas into guitar strings, and I did them French style, so they were countersunk with pinstripe detail. A lot of this detail is like, as small as a thumbnail.
Yeah. Oh, it's tiny. It's tiny.
I connected the guitar string antennas to LEDs, and you pull the antenna, and all the lights came on. It was a very cool model.
Dude, that is incredible. And the problem I'm finding now. And it's funny because I listen to a lot of model making like podcasts and things like that. And I heard something during the week which made me laugh a little bit because one of the guys on the program said, well, they were interviewing and he said, I used to make 1 to 72 models. He said, but I can't anymore. He said, because I just can't see them. I've got to go to 1 to 48 scale now. And I was sitting there looking. Yeah. I was working on one, and I love 1 to 72 scale because I'm not big on spray. I prefer brush. I do really love brush painting because again, it's that more primal kind of thing. It's more closely related to my youth because I never had sprays. We used to sit there, poring over magazines and things like that, and because there was no internet back in the 80s, you sit there and looking through, a magazine or looking through the box art and looking at these models that people have made, going, how did they do that? And of course, they're using spray. But it's like I just grew up with brush painting. Anyway, I know we're diverting from cigar box guitars, but I suppose the ideals there aren't that dissimilar, where you're doing what you can with what you've got, and I think that's a real win. Man, I wanted to talk about a couple of things. The first things first is the group and what's happened since we've made the group a private group. What I've noticed is obviously a massive drop off in spam. And as we've gone through, I know personally I've deleted well over 100 fake and bogus accounts. Those accounts all follow a very, very, very similar look. And the thing going forward is, and I'm still seeing people asking for applications or asking to join the group, but they're not. Some people are just simply they're not filling out that little questionnaire. I've got three simple questions.
It's a problem, isn't it? I don't understand why they want to join, but don't answer the question.
Well, I'm just saying no. I'm saying no.
So am I.
Yeah.
So am I.
Yep. And a couple of them have filled out 1 or 2, and I've allowed that. And one of the reasons why I've done that is because I think it could be because it might be a fact that they're coming from a non-English speaking country or something like that. So I've allowed that. I'm not too sure because obviously the questions that I've written are in English. So I don't speak any other languages, so they are in English. I'm not sure whether or not their Facebook can translate. Now, at the same time, but at the same time, that's not my fault. I've got my main job and our main job as admin for this group are to protect the current members and to protect future members who are coming on board. If there are, if there are questions there to be signed, they've got to be filled in. They have to be filled in, and it's even if it's one or two of them, I get it. That's okay, but it means that someone's actually typing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a real person typing. It's not a bot. Yeah. And it's even if someone put an X or did an XYZ or just hit their keys or something like that, I can see that, and it's like, okay, like if you were joining a group that was all in German and there were questions there, wouldn't you use a translator maybe? We've all got access to them on our phones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I can see this is in English. They're questions for the group. I don't know what it says. Maybe I can ask someone who speaks English. And I'm just saying, we want people from all over the world. We've always been we've been a global group, and I want that to continue, but not at the expense not at the expense of the safety of the people who are already here, and that has to be the priority. No. So my apologies to anyone who's listening to this podcast has tried to join up. Well, you know what I'm saying. It's what do? You can
it's
just
only because we were doing all right, but then. Not long ago, we got hit with thousands of spam.
Yeah.
And so we had to do something drastic. And so we're just trying to sort of, get back to where we need to be and deal with this new problem. And so it will level out sooner or later. But we have to be a little bit tighter. So if people aren't going to answer the questions, then we just can't let you in. And it's not a play or cosmetic bloody guitar earrings or anything like that either. So, hey, there he is. I can see him.
All right, I've switched. Okay, I've actually put you over to my iPad, so the sound might be a little different.
I can still hear you, so it's fine.
Oh no, I'm just the recording, but I think we've got to do something because it's hard. It's really, really difficult to have a conversation with someone if you can't see them. So sorry. I hope that's okay.
There he is.
Yeah. Here. So I'll show you. That's the one that I built. It's a little
Yep.
It's the 2-string chugger, and you can see like it's just the string retainer there.
Yep, it's cool.
Yeah, but Alex's have a little look in the
I like that box.
Yeah, I love these old boxes. These are the old Monte Cristos. This is a little one. It's only like the size of my hand. See. So they're not
good 2-string chugger size.
Yeah, and it just sounds great. I love it. So I wanted to show you something. I'll turn you around for a second. Hang on. This is my son goes to uni, and I don't know if you can see that. This is a ceramic. This is my hand. Look at the size of that ceramic that we picked up last night on Friday night. It's a golem. It's something he was doing for ceramics class at uni, and it's a golem with a city built on top of it, which is falling into a pit.
I see. That's cool.
Oh, he's so talented. He's amazing. He's just amazing.
Done well.
He freaks me out, man. Like he's so clever. And I build cigar box guitars.
Yeah, which he also thinks is cool.
He probably does. Actually, you know what? The kid, he's 18 now. 10 years ago, he built a cigar box guitar. This is the same time that those little those little Aldi
The kit ones.
The little
Yeah,
kits,
yeah.
cardboard box, cigar box guitars came out.
CBG.
Yeah.
Was,
and I love those because it was so funny. There were cigar box guitar builders all around the world losing their minds, kind of like, the Chinese are coming for us. They're coming for us.
Yeah. I remember that.
I loved them. I thought they were fantastic because the first thing I thought was, like, they're as cheap as hell. I bought one for $29, right? It sounded horrible. It sounded absolutely awful. But it was a little cigar box guitar. And it had little fret markings on it, little F holes, and it was really cute. But
it was designed well.
Yeah.
It had a good look to it. The graphics were good.
Well, do you know it was actually designed by an Australian?
That's why it was good.
Yeah. It was actually an Aussie an Aussie guy who actually had them made. I don't know whether he made any money out of them, but I think it was great.
I remember seeing them on the shelf. I remember laughing at it, and I never bought one because I didn't have any intentions of building it. But I wish I bought one just to put on the shelf.
Yeah. Well, I actually
did.
Well, I did build it, and then I actually offered it to my son. I said, "Look," I said, "I'm not going to use this." I said, "But do you want it?" And he said, "No, Dad." He said, "I want to make my own." So I got him a little cigar box, about the same size as this one here, and I gave him that, and I gave him a length of wood, and obviously it helped him cut out the side holes and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a 3-string, and I said, "Well, do you want it fretted?" And he said, "Yeah, I'll put frets on it." So he got bamboo skewers, and or toothpicks or something, and he just stuck them on. I said, "Do you want me to show you where to put them? Like, do you want me to measure it and do it?" He said, "No, Dad, I'll just put them on." But he did it in a way. Well, the funny thing was, he did it in a way where it was like wider at the top here, and as he came up, it got thinner and thinner and thinner. But he must have one of those peculiar kind of little mathematical minds, because as it came up kind of at the right ratio.
Yep.
And so quite a few of the frets, even though he was guessing, quite a few of the frets
were in tune.
Actually sounded in tune. And I got him one of those Aldi. I gave him one of those Aldi acoustic guitar pickups, the electric ones. Those cheap little electric.
The acoustic sound
hole ones. Yeah. So he got that. We just drilled on the side of. They're like they're not peanut. They're like a gold foil, and they got those tabs out the side that you would stick in the sound hole.
Yeah.
And I just drilled through the top of that, and he just drilled it straight onto the top of the guitar. Man, but he built it in. What I'm saying was, I said to him, "Do you want this?" And he said, "No." He says, "I want to make my own." And he made his own. He did his own.
That was me too, yeah.
And that
Does he still play?
No. He's artistically minded, kind of a computer game junkie, loves his computer games. Loves. He loves doing. Actually, I've got to be honest with you. He does the what is it? The Warhammer figures, the figurines. Yep. He and his mates, he and his mates, they get together and they do the Warcraft or whatever it is, those figurines. But he's the most incredible painter. Like, he's incredible. Like, it's all the art side of things. That's him in a nutshell.
Good stuff.
Yeah, he's quite amazing, and so he's very artistic in that way, and so what else have we got? Oh, okay. Oh my God, I'm just checking this thing out here. My project so far for the weekend from Alex Lechner. Oh my God, Alex is just.
He's chewing it out, isn't he?
I'm just him and Jesse. I'm just like him and Jess. I don't know where they get the time. Like, Jess,
it must be in the water they drink.
I don't know what's going on, man. Like, they are just pumping them out. Like, Jesse must have hundreds of guitars. I don't know. It's like,
I know. I think they have 34-hour days in America.
No, it's got to be something like that. It's got to be something like that. It has to be. It's but
I don't know how they do it either.
But I'm looking at this guitar that Alex is building, and it's like, it's all rustic. It's all got hinges and held together with aluminium strips, and he's got a cigar box on there, and it's just crazy as, man. I'm really excited to get this guitar from Alex. I'm really excited.
You'll have to do a song that's suited for it when you get it.
I think I might have to do something like that. Now, speaking of songs, Speaking of songs,
Yeah. Cover challenge.
The Bee Gees, man. How? Oh my god, that was awesome, man! You did a great job. I'm glad I put that one up. I'm glad I did that because I haven't done the challenge in a while.
Yours was killer. Like I actually found your vocal on that was one of my favourite covers you've done.
Oh, thank you.
No, I think it was a great suggestion by Louis. I think Louis was a little bit nervous because, you know, the Bee Gees, it is a style that not everybody's in, me included. But to me, that's the whole purpose of the bloody challenge. You take a band that you never in your wildest dreams would thought you'd learn something and get involved. And I actually found, I did Staying Alive. I did, because I can play guitar, but I can't sing for shit. But I'm trying.
Oh, man, it sounded great. It sounded absolutely brilliant.
I'm having more fun. I'm taking it less seriously. Yeah. And I'm just doing my thing now. And if it sucks and it's funny, then it's better than trying to be serious and be perfect, in my opinion.
Yeah. But
I actually found that Staying Alive, that has a very funky riff.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that riff. Just that opening, bam, 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 it's great. I love playing it. And I never would have experienced that feeling if Louis didn't suggest the Bee Gees. Yeah. So if you feel, this goes to all the listeners and members, if you feel that you want to get involved but you're very nervous and you don't know what to do, none of that ever matters. No. Like, I mean, it does not matter what quality you give us. It's just participation only. And yeah, you will learn things and you will grow and you will enjoy it. And as I noticed, there's quite a few of us that are in it every single week. And that's because we got the bug. We like it. We want to do it. Absolutely. We're anticipating the next cover. And it doesn't even matter what it is. So
we've got, who are these people? Who are these strange people who keep signing up each week to do this challenge? You know what? I'm just wondering. I'll have to
do it right now.
We'll have to do the draw. Yeah, but not everyone listens. The problem is not everyone listens to the podcast.
True. Yeah.
And people, listen to the podcast. God damn it! That's what the podcast is there for. It's there for you. My God. Tell your friends. We get over 100 listeners generally, but we've got like 14,000 in the group. Now I'm guessing that probably we've still got a couple of thousand of dodgy ones to get through. And clear out. But, you know, there's a lot of people on the group, man. Give the podcast a chance. And, you know, if you're listening to it, well, you already are. Thank you so much. Deeply appreciate that. But tell your friends. Get your friends to listen as well. Because, you know, at the end of the day, it does take a while to get things kind of up and uploading everything and putting it all on. And, you know, so it's nice to see people looking and commenting. So we've got a few people commenting as well.
It's time and commitment. It's time and commitment, especially on your behalf, Adam. You do a phenomenal amount, but for the group, for the podcast, for the community, for your store, for festivals. Like you're submersed into this big time. So you have a very big time commitment, and it is rewarding when you do find, you know, that people are benefiting from your effort. People are enjoying your content, you know, and so we do have 14,000 members. So it would, if more listeners would be fantastic. More promotion, and you know, it sort of feels the encouragement to continue.
Yeah, well, look, I think I would still be doing it anyway, even if we only had like 10 people listening. It's just something I like to do. I like sharing. I like.
You do. You've always done it.
Well, Del Puckett was interviewing. Del Puckett was interviewing Steve Harvey on his video podcast. I think Del's finished now. I think Del has finished. He just interviewed Shane Spiel. That was a great interview. Del, definitely, if you haven't gone and had a chance to listen to Del's YouTube interviews that he did. Have a listen, because there's some really cool people he's had a chat with. But I was really honoured. I was really like he and Steve actually said, you know, some really nice things about me. So I just want to openly say thank you very much. It was very, very much appreciated at at a moment when I was feeling a little bit under the weather, and so that was very kind. But look, I do it anyway. It doesn't matter. I'm not after anything, but I do want to try and get people talking about home. It doesn't have to be cigar box guitars, but I want to get people talking about music, because I think it's incredibly therapeutic, and I think for a generation of especially males who don't generally talk about issues and talk about things that are bothering them, or that might be affecting them. I think this is a really nice forum where we can actually do something creative, and you can express yourself. Obviously, it's a very male-dominated, pastime. But it's wonderful.
That's okay. It's a brotherhood.
Well, it is, but it's also wonderful to see female members coming on board, and we've got incredible. There are some really great people who are actually commenting and building guitars. Cindy Morris, for example, Elijah.
I can't remember the lady's name. There's a lady, I'm not sure of her name. She's building that Love Heart guitar.
I was just about to...
What's her name?
I'm trying to find it. I'm here on the group now.
That's quite an impressive build. There's good craftsmanship in that build.
Well, she actually builds a lot of... Sarah Hicks.
That's the one, Sarah Hicks.
So she actually builds, and she builds her own necks. I
think she also has a vision impairment as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that. So
yeah, I think she struggles. I think it's a lot of feel for her.
Yeah. So it is. I mean, it's therapeutic. It's like but the thing I love about cigar box guitars is you've got people like Logan's Homegrown Cigar Box Guitars building some pretty groovy looking stuff. He's got his what's that say? Tater Reds. It's like a motorbike license plate kind of plate over the top of a guitar. Fretless Wonder. Kathy Mullert as well. She's got old picture here. It's a really nice looking guitars. But we are getting some female contributors to the group, which is wonderful, which is absolutely fabulous, because we want to bring in everyone, and people, if you can talk about things, if it's helping, if it helps you, that's what you want, and I just find that it's such a cool thing for that. It's a shame Darren's not here today. I'm going to have to rib him and give him a hard time about it. So, and but we've got Busted Knuckle Guitars here as well. So it just says he's in honour of Military Appreciation Month, and to say thank you to all the military brothers and sisters. He's done a range of guitars there for that. There's a lot of people who are building guitars for charities, which is cool. We might look at something like that. I did make a post in the group probably a couple of weeks ago asking if people were interested in doing a group challenge where that, doing something which was building an old, like something rustic or something that might have been from dug up in the Delta or something like that from 100 years ago or something like that. But obviously that's kind of, you can only have so many things that you can focus on. And I think we've now got the Aussie challenge. So if you are an Australian, even if you're not Australian, if you want to just check out what's going on, you can always request access to it. It is the Australian. I've gone back again. My brain is the
Great Australian CBG
Swap. Yeah, the Great Australian
Great
CBG
Australian
Swap.
CBG. Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll put it back into the group, and it's group members who are coming across. And as I said, not everyone wanted to be involved in it, but so people signed up, but they haven't actually signed up to do a build. I think they're just kind of checking things out. That's cool. That's all right. That's fine. It would be lovely to see you guys actually put some comments.
Well, we'll be doing this one, and we'll be more than likely doing another, won't we?
I think so.
I think so. I think it'll grow. This is our first one, and we've only just started.
Yeah.
So, and I know that we share information through the groups. And make it aware, make announcements to give information about the swap off and that. But I feel that a lot of members may have not got that.
Yeah,
I feel that we haven't reached as many people as we would like to have.
Yeah,
and that's why our numbers are low.
Yeah. And look, to be honest with you, I'm kind of happy they're low at the moment because
I am too.
Yeah,
actually,
I think it's. Hopefully, it's something that we can manage, and it's
like we're testing the waters. We're just dipping our toes. We're not fully submersing yet.
That's it. It's just like, okay, let's start with this one, see what happens, and just kind of and go from there.
It's a good approach.
So. Yeah, so look, I think that's the news at the moment. Look, what we'll do is Jesse's off at a wedding. I'm not sure what's happening with Darren.
Darren's having a nap.
Yeah, Darren's having a nap. I'm not sure what's happening with Darren today.
Grandpa, he gets a bit tired come 10 a.m.
Grumpy's guitars. Now, I did have a bit of an idea. Now, here's the thought. I'm going to bend you because I haven't actually spoken to you about this as yet, but this was a thought, and yes, it is a bit more work for me to do, but it's something that I'm thinking. One of the reasons why I didn't want to do or continue with the video broadcast of
or the podcast.
Is obviously I'm struggling a bit with the video format. I'm not sure whether the end of the video or the end of the audio is going to work because I've switched over to the iPad. So I'll have to see as to whether or not the audio will get picked up by my phone because this is how I record.
Yep.
On my phone. I don't have anything fancy like microphones and speakers and desktops and all that sort of stuff. So
no, I don't either. I'm very primal when it comes to that.
So, but what I was thinking of doing was doing like a fortnightly video for the YouTube group, and on that I was going to bring up pictures from the group that had come up. Have a quick discussion about each picture, but also record the video formats of the songs, the people singing the songs, and actually to have some content. That's why I was thinking about doing it every fortnight of the previous fortnight's group challenge. And actually, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, like a highlight reel.
Yeah,
for the
like a highlight reel. Now, I know
fortnight, in case you guys are wondering, so I know Americans don't use the word fortnight. I think you guys call it bi-weekly.
Okay.
So every 2 weeks.
Yeah. So do it like every 2 weeks. It's something. What I'll basically do is just capture I'll simply just capture the videos on my phone, and use like iMovie to piece together.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I just thought it might be, and because there's also people like Fear No Beard's CBGs. He's up here, and I can see him. He's doing review, and Fear No Beard CBGs. I think Fear No Beard actually builds his own pickups.
I have some. I'm yet to use them. I have a half a dozen of Fear No Beard pickups.
Okay, because
I'm looking forward to it. I actually planned on using a few of them in the 11 guitars I built last year.
Oh, okay.
But I gave every person the option of what pickup they wanted to use, and every single person went with a humbucker.
Yeah, and I think that's a shame. I think that honestly,
I didn't get to use a Fear No Beard pickup because everyone wanted the humbucker, and I didn't. I grabbed single coils off of Fear No Beard. If I would have grabbed some humbuckers, then I would have been able to use.
Look, Mark Wilmot made from CBG Emporium. Mark Wilmot made the most beautiful sounding timber pickups.
Yeah, you've mentioned it.
Yeah, and I used to use them on my old Lightning Boy guitars. The Lightning Boy guitars were that guitar, that bigger box, the bigger version of this Monte Cristo box. And I used to do a flip top, so I did it all on the wooden side. And I used to use his single coil. They were... See, this is the thing, man. If you want primal, you should not be going for humbuckers. Do you know what I mean? It's like the humbuckers are clean and they behave themselves and they... there's... Whereas a single coil... The closest humbucker you'll get to a single coil, in my opinion, are these beasties here. Right, this is the, and for those people who are listening, of course, I'm pointing at a guitar that I've built. and it's got a chrome mini humbucker. No, it's a mini humbucker.
Yeah, I use them a fair bit.
Yeah, and the mini humbucker is the naughty version of a humbucker because it does give you those humbucking properties, but they tend to be very slightly microphonic, and
they do.
Yeah,
they do. I have actually wax potted a few of them and found that it's muffled that down a bit.
Yeah, see, I like that. See, I like it. Because
it depends on what you're building.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If I'm playing metal, right, I'd go for a humbucker. Generally, I would do something like a humbucker, wax potted humbucker with heavy amounts of distortion, all that type of thing. I would definitely do that, right? You'd go for a wax potted humbucker. But for me, blues and like dirty blues and or punk
it has the grip.
Yeah, the single coils just have that punch. I built one of my Lightning Boy guitars, the modern Lightning Boy guitars, which I usually use humbucking pickups for, and the guy actually said, "Oh look, do you mind? Can you build it with a single coil pickup?" He said, because I really just want a nice gentle pickup. I want a nice, simple, gentle pickup. And we talked about it back and forth. So yes, you can get gentle tones out of a humbucker as well. But he wanted that very focused sound that only a single coil can give. And I built it. And I utterly fell back in love with single coil pickups, especially for fuzz. Like he wanted it for like a fuzz face pedal, the Jimi Hendrix fuzz face style pedals. They are just perfect for single coil pickups. In my opinion, they don't sound nearly as good with a humbucking pickup. They've got the fuzz face.
Back to the Stratocaster sound.
Yeah, that's
distortion, the Jimi Hendrix Strat.
That's it. And it's like, so I'm actually, I'm very interested in building some pickups for myself. I've got to be honest, I'll tell you a little story before we go. During Easter, I went and did a market up at Blackheath, and one of my absolute heroes walked into the stall, and it was Angry Anderson from from Rose Tattoo, and he came and we just had a chat. We were having a talk. He said, "Oh wow, what are these?"
Cool.
We just had a big chat, and we were just talking back and forth about music and things like that. And I'm a big fan. I'm more of a fan of Angry Anderson than I am of Rose Tattoo. I like Rose Tattoo. I do. I've seen them live. I saw them at Eastern Creek in '92, and they were just incredible. But I'm a massive fan of him as a person. I just think he's incredible. He's such a giving person, and the stuff he does for charity just blows me away. And so I actually gifted him this crazy little cigar box guitar that I built with a prototype pickup that I'd done. And, I said to him, I said, look, I don't want anything. I didn't even take a photo. I didn't take a picture with it because I said, this is just you and me. This is just, I don't want to, because I'll remember that forever. You know what I mean? It's like, it's really cool. And it was just one of those, because I know if I took a photo, I'd be tempted to put it up. And it's like, I don't want to do that. But I will talk about it. And I said to him, before I knew it, I said, I'm going to build a range of pickups. I'm going to call them Angry Pickups.
Oh, yeah.
And then I went, is that okay? Because I thought, because he's trademarked. Like, he's obviously and he looked at me and he said, that's fine. But he kept saying, I can't believe, he wouldn't stop shaking my hand. Like he wouldn't, just a simple little musical instrument in the hands of somebody, and he wouldn't stop shaking my hand. He was like, "Oh, this is incredible! Thank you!" Like
that's awesome.
It was so lovely, but then I got to admit, it was the funniest thing that happened was as he was leaving, he walked up past a food cart, and the lady came running out, and she was so excited, and she was so nervous, and she shook his hand, and she said, "Oh my God!" She said, "Angry, oh, it's lovely to see. I've met you." And then she turns around, and she says, "I've always loved the Angels."
Oh, yeah.
That was beautiful. And he was lovely. He was so gracious. He said, yeah, I do too, but I was in Rose Tattoo. You know, it was and he laughed. And he laughed. He was just like, he was...
Same era, same pub rock style, but not the same band.
But I got to admit, man, I walked away from that just feeling so... And he said, you can call him angry. You see, you can call your
that's pretty cool. Angry's a pretty cool guy.
He's a lovely guy, and like if he ever decided he didn't want me to call him that, I would honour that. But it's just, I was just floored. I was just floored by his how humble he was, and by like he was just amazed. He said this cigar box guitars. He said, I'm going to give this to my slide player. He said, I'm going to give this to him to have a playthrough, and I had said to him, make sure he turns his amp up really, really loud. He said, why? I said, well, you know how most single coil pickups are kind of like maybe 4K or 3 or 4K? This is 0.3 of a K.
Oh, because it was your...
it was my prototype.
Your prototype,
but what? You know what? It sounded gritty and nasty, and it was just... So if I can get those winds up, and I did it on a drill, just on a simple drill, winding it on, just kind of... but boy, oh boy, making a pickup, man, and we do really need to have another talk about this, don't we? I think making pickups. I think Jesse would be good to have a talk to.
Jesse's a man, and maybe even Donnie from Fear No Beards.
Yeah,
he could be a good interview as well.
Well, I had a big chat with Steve Harvey during the week, and Steve was talking about. I think he was talking about him as well. And
Donnie.
Yeah. And so there might be some interesting things kind of happening as we go forward. But what I wanted to say was, I won't go into details, but Steve is going through. He put a message up last night, thoughts and prayers, and I did have a talk with Steve during the week, and I just wanted to openly say, like, thinking of you, mate, hoping everything works out and everything's okay. It's a tight-knit community that we've got here, and the only reason I'm mentioning it is he did put a post up on Facebook. So for people who are listening to this, just maybe keep him and his loved ones in your thoughts.
In your thoughts
going forward.
And in prayer.
Yeah. So that's the way the cookie crumbles today, man. That's it. I think we're done.
We're done.
So, going forward this week, I'm going to be continuing work on the 2 orders that I've got. I'm going to get started on Alex's guitar, because I know he started mine already. So I'm going to get started on Alex's guitar.
You haven't started yet either.
Yeah.
You haven't started yet either.
No, I've done the drawing. I know what I want to do. I've got the box in mind. I actually have a really, really funky box that I'm going to use. And it's looking at what Alex is doing on the video. I think he and I have actually got exactly the same idea. I'm
betting on it.
Yeah, he and I have just we'll do it differently, but he and I have got exactly the same idea. So yeah. I'm actually really excited about seeing what happens out of this. So we'll go with it. You're going to start? You're starting this week, or?
I'm hopefully starting this afternoon.
Okay,
in
cool.
about 4 hours.
Yeah.
About 4 hours, I do a little bit of yard work, and then hopefully I'm at least going to organise the parts and try to lay it out. I don't actually have my inspiration isn't locked in.
Yeah.
So I've got a little bit of writer's block at the moment.
Okay. That's cool.
It's all right. Cool. I just need to get started. That's all. I'm stagnant because I haven't started.
Yeah.
And so there's no real flow yet. But as soon as I get something going, I'll be away.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. Deeply appreciate you being here. Please share the group with your please share the podcast with your friends. It would be deeply appreciated if we can get more people listening. It certainly helps. A very big thank you to those people who have been using the Birdwood Guitars affiliate link with CB Giddy. There's a lot of people who have been using it. I know there's a lot of people who are using it even though they've used up their first 10% off thing, and they're still using it and supporting the show. So thank you so much for those people who are supporting the show. It is deeply appreciated. It means that I can get some parts. I've spoken to Ben. Ben's actually going to send me some of the 6-string, the new flat pickups, the new 6-string flat pickups. So that's going to be really exciting. So I'll be able to do something with those and play around with those and do a review. So that hopefully they'll turn up in the next week or so. So that should be a lot of fun. If he sends me a couple, I'll send one your way. So if there's something you wanted to do with that, which might be fun.
Definitely
might be a bit of fun.
Yeah. No, I'm a big supporter of CBG.
Yep.
No,
they're good guys. They're good guys there, and Ben's kicking ass. He's doing really well.
CBG, I mean CB Giddy.
CB Giddy. Yep. So look, you know what? Support. The thing is with the group, guys. Look, support your local CBG supplier. All right, support. There's enough love to go around. There's enough interesting product to go around. Support these guys, especially. And I'm going to say this. I will say this because the American market at the moment is going through this awful transition with all the tariffs and things like that. So they are struggling. We aren't. It's not really. I don't think it's going to necessarily affect us as much because we can still buy parts from the States. Shipping.
MGB and
MGB. We do have our local supplier here as well in Australia. There's people like Fino Beards. There's people like Uli, who's doing the slides out of Europe. That we have this tight knit community.
There is.
We don't need to order from eBay. We don't need to support.
No.
And we don't need to support Bezos. We don't need to support. Use our suppliers. Use the people who are part of our community. That's my.
I agree. MGB, CB Giddy, they can cover the whole world. Like we do have Cigar Box, Euphorium here, and we do have, as you said, Fino Beard and that.
In Europe, because I know that CB Giddy and MGB struggle getting product to Europe. They do. It is hard for Europeans to actually order. So go to Chicken Bone John.
Is there a supplier? Chicken Bone John? Is he a supplier?
Chicken Bone John. He actually does sell Cigar Box guitar parts. So go to Chicken Bone John. Support him. If you're in Europe or the UK,
he's in UK.
Absolutely. If you're in Europe or the UK, support your local supplier, your local pickup makers. If if you're in Europe and you're listening to this, and I know that there are European people listening to this, if instead of ordering pickups from eBay, try and find. And if you want to do something different, you want to do something crazy, jump on the internet and look for a local pickup supplier, like for a pickup builder. And ask them, say, can you make 3-string? You might find that you're onto something new. It's all bring people into the community. This is what we can do. Build your own bridges. We've got people out there who are building their own, Cigar Box guitar bridges. It's if you wanted to do things like that, why not build your own bridge and then decide, hey, I like this. This is really cool. I'm going to sell them. We should be supplying each other. That's the thing.
I've thought about doing bridges for sale. I make a pretty nice bridge, but it's the time. I just don't have it.
Yeah, it's the same. Look, before I got on board with CB Giddy, I looked at doing Cigar Box guitar parts as well, and it's just a question of time. If you're going to make things by hand, you got to charge a proper price for it. And you've the time that goes into that is time taken away from other things. So, it is that, Anyway, look, that's food for thought for people. That's some food for thought. Joe, absolute pleasure, as always, chatting with you.
You bet. It was good seeing you. I haven't spoken for a while.
Yeah, and I think we've and apologies to people for the break. I think we've had like nearly a 6 or 7 week break from the podcast.
But it's got to happen, and we're not a professional unit, so we just play it by ear anyway.
Basically, mates talking, and that's the thing. And we've got mates listening.
No expectations.
That's it. We got mates listening, mates talking, and that's what it comes down to. So thanks again for your support, everybody. Catch you next time.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your weekend.
Yep. You too, mate. All the best. See you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.